In the grand chambers of the Intergalactic Council, representatives from 1,000 star systems gathered for an emergency session. The air crackled with tension as Counselor Zorax, a tall reptilian figure, called the meeting to order. Esteemed members of the council, Zorax began, his voice echoing through the cavernous hall. We come together today in the face of an unprecedented event. Our long-range sensors have detected an unidentified vessel emerging from an uncharted wormhole at the edge of known space. Murmurs rippled through the assembled delegates. The appearance of a new spacefaring civilization was rare enough to warrant the Council's full attention, but the fact that this unknown species possessed wormhole technology was truly alarming. The power to traverse the stars with such ease could upset the delicate balance that the Council had maintained for eons. Zorax held up a clawed hand for silence. Preliminary scans indicate that the vessel is of an entirely unfamiliar design and is powered by an energy source we have never encountered before. He paused to let this information sink in. The Council prided itself on its vast knowledge of the galaxy's scientific wonders. To be confronted with something so utterly foreign was deeply unsettling. What's more, Zorax continued gravely, the ship broadcast a message before entering the wormhole. It was garbled and incomplete, but our linguists managed to translate one word: humans. The name hung in the air, alien and inscrutable. In all the Council's long history, in all its chronicles of the galaxy's myriad species, there was no record of any civilization called humans. Counselor Valna, an elegant avian from the Athon cluster, spoke up. If these humans possess such advanced wormhole technology, could they pose a threat to the Council and the worlds under our protection? That is what we must ascertain, replied Zorax. I propose we send a diplomatic envoy through the wormhole to make first contact with this new species. We must learn all we can about their capabilities and intentions. I volunteer for this mission, declared Ambassador Thelon, rising to his feet. The lithe, blue-skinned diplomat was renowned for his skills in interspecies communication and conflict resolution. With the Council's permission, I will lead an expedition to meet these humans and establish peaceful relations between our civilizations. Zorax nodded his approval. Very well, Ambassador Thelon. You have the Council's full support in this endeavor. But be cautious. We are dealing with an unknown quantity in these humans. They may not adhere to the same principles of diplomacy and cooperation that bind our galactic community. Thelon bowed deeply. I understand the risks, Counselor, but I also believe that every species, no matter how alien, shares a common desire for peace and understanding. It is my hope that the humans will prove to be a valuable addition to our Council and our ongoing mission of galactic harmony. As the Council session adjourned and the delegates dispersed to their various duties, an air of excitement and trepidation hung over the proceedings. The arrival of the humans heralded a new chapter in galactic history, one filled with both promise and peril. And Ambassador Thelon now stood at the center of this unfolding saga, entrusted with the fate of not just his own people, but potentially the entire galaxy. Ambassador Thelon stood on the bridge of the Intergalactic Council's most advanced diplomatic vessel, the Concordia. The sleek ship was a marvel of engineering, designed to project an aura of peaceful intent, while also possessing the most sophisticated defensive technologies in the galaxy. As the Concordia emerged from the swirling vortex of the wormhole, Thelon couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and trepidation. The unknown lay before him, a vast expanse of uncharted space that held the key to the galaxy's future. Ambassador, we're receiving a transmission from the human vessel, reported Communications Officer Zara, her delicate antennae twitching with excitement. Thelon took a deep breath, composing himself for the historic encounter. Put it through. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a bridge that was both familiar and utterly alien. The crew manning the various stations appeared to be Bygdal, with smooth, hairless skin and eyes that shone with intelligence and curiosity. One figure, a tall male with piercing blue eyes, stepped forward. "Greetings," the human said, his voice translated by the Concordia's sophisticated linguistic algorithms. "I am Captain Ezra Donovan of the United Earth Space Command. On behalf of the people of Earth, I welcome you to our corner of the galaxy." Thalon inclined his head respectfully. "Thank you, Captain Donovan. I am Ambassador Thalon of the Intergalactic Council. My people have traveled far to make contact with yours and to learn about your civilization." Donovan smiled warmly, a gesture that Thalon found strangely disarming. "We are honored by your visit, Ambassador. We have much to discuss and much to learn from each other. Please, allow us to escort you to Earth, where our leaders are eager to meet with you and your delegation." As the Concordia fell into formation alongside the human vessel, Thalon couldn't help but marvel at the strange twists of fate that had brought him to this moment. He had negotiated with countless alien species, brokered treaties and alliances that had shaped the course of galactic history. But something about these humans felt different, as if they held the key to a mystery that had long eluded the Council. The journey to Earth was brief, thanks to the humans' advanced wormhole technology. As the Concordia entered Earth's orbit, Thalon and his team were struck by the sheer diversity of the planet below. Lush green forests gave way to sprawling deserts, vast oceans lapped at the shores of towering mountain ranges, and the lights of countless cities sparkled like jewels in the night. "It's beautiful," whispered Zora, her eyes wide with wonder. Thalon nodded, feeling the strange kinship with this alien world and its inhabitants. "Yes, it is. And I have a feeling that we have only begun to scratch the surface of the wonders that await us here." As the Concordia touched down on the landing pad of the United Earth Government headquarters, Thalon steeled himself for the challenges ahead. He knew that the fate of not just his own people, but potentially the entire galaxy, rested on his ability to forge a bond of trust and understanding with these enigmatic humans. The doors of the Concordia hissed open, and Thalon stepped out into the bright Earth sunlight, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The future of the galaxy hung in the balance, and he would not let it slip through his fingers. As Ambassador Thalon and his team stepped into the halls of the United Earth Government headquarters, they were greeted by a delegation of human leaders, each wearing expressions of warm welcome and eager anticipation. At the head of the group stood a tall, distinguished-looking woman with silver hair and piercing green eyes. "Ambassador Thalon, welcome to Earth," the woman said, extending her hand in a gesture of friendship. "I am President Lyra Novak, leader of the United Earth Government. On behalf of all humanity, I thank you for making this historic journey to our world." Thalon took the president's hand, marveling at the strange texture of her skin and the firmness of her grip. "The honor is ours, President Novak. My people have long sought to make contact with new civilizations and to foster bonds of friendship and cooperation across the galaxy." As the two leaders exchanged pleasantries and began to discuss the intricacies of interstellar diplomacy, Thalon couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to these humans than met the eye. They moved with a grace and confidence that belied their relatively young age as a spacefaring species, and their eyes shone with a depth of knowledge and understanding that seemed to transcend mere intelligence. It wasn't until later, during a tour of the humans' most advanced research facilities, that Thalon began to understand the true nature of the mystery that surrounded these enigmatic beings. The head researcher, a brilliant scientist named Dr. Liam Connors, led the ambassador and his team through a series of laboratories filled with strange machines and pulsing energy fields. "Ambassador Thalon, what do you know of the concept of the soul?" Dr. Connors asked, his eyes glinting with a curious intensity. Thalon paused, taken aback by the question. "The soul. It is a concept that has long been debated by the philosophers and theologians of my people. Some believe that it is the essence of a being, the spark of consciousness that animates the physical form. Others see it as a mere metaphor, a way of describing the intangible qualities that make us who we are. But as for its true nature, I must confess that we know very little." Dr. Connors nodded, a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. What if I told you that the soul is not just a metaphysical concept, but a tangible, measurable phenomenon? What if I told you that the human soul possesses a power and energy that dwarfs anything the galaxy has ever seen? Thelon's eyes widened in shock and disbelief. That is an extraordinary claim, Dr. Connors. How can you be certain of such a thing? The scientist led Thelon and his team to a large circular chamber filled with a dense network of sensors and energy fields. In the center of the room stood a single human, a young woman with fiery red hair and eyes that seemed to glow with an inner light. This is Aria, one of our most gifted volunteers, Dr. Connors explained. With her permission, we will now demonstrate the true power of the human soul. The scientist nodded to his colleagues, who began to activate the chamber's various systems. The air crackled with energy, and a soft, pulsing light began to emanate from Aria's body. Thelon watched in awe as the sensors around the room began to register levels of energy that defied all known laws of physics. "By the stars," Thelon whispered, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and wonder. "How is this possible?" Dr. Connors smiled enigmatically. "The human soul is a mystery that we have only begun to unravel. But one thing is clear: the power that lies within us is beyond anything the galaxy has ever seen. And that power, Ambassador Thelon, is the key to our future." As Thelon and his team left the research facility, their minds reeling with the implications of what they had witnessed, the ambassador knew that he had stumbled upon a truth that would change the course of galactic history. The humans were more than just another spacefaring species. They were a force of nature, a cosmic wildcard that could tip the balance of power in ways that no one could predict. And as he looked out over the sprawling city below, Thelon couldn't shake the feeling that he was standing on the brink of a new era, one in which the fate of the galaxy would be decided not by the might of armies or the maneuvers of diplomats, but by the secrets that lay hidden within the human soul. News of the humans' incredible soul power spread like wildfire through the Intergalactic Council. Ambassador Thelon's reports, filled with both wonder and trepidation, sparked a firestorm of debate and speculation among the galaxy's most powerful leaders. Some saw the humans as a potential ally, a force for good that could help to usher in a new era of peace and prosperity. Others, however, viewed them as a threat, a wild card that could upset the delicate balance of power that had held sway for eons. In the shadows of the Council's grand halls, whispers began to circulate of secret factions and hidden agendas. Some spoke of plans to control the humans, to harness their soul power for their own ends. Others advocated for more drastic measures, even going so far as to suggest that the humans should be eliminated before they could pose a threat to the established order. As the debate raged on, Ambassador Thelon found himself at the center of a maelstrom of intrigue and deception. He had always prided himself on his ability to navigate the treacherous waters of galactic politics, but now he found himself questioning everything he had ever believed. The more he learned about the humans, the more he came to realize that they were not just another species to be cataloged and controlled. They were a force of nature, a civilization with the potential to reshape the very fabric of the universe. And yet, as he delved deeper into the secrets of the human soul, Thelon couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that there were forces at work that even he could not comprehend. He began to see shadows in every corner, to hear whispers in the silence of his own thoughts. It was during one of these moments of doubt and uncertainty that Thelon received a message from an anonymous source, a cryptic transmission that seemed to confirm his worst fears. The message spoke of a shadowy cable known only as the Obsidian Order, a group of powerful individuals who had been manipulating events from behind the scenes for centuries. According to the message, the Obsidian Order had long known of the human soul power and had been working tirelessly to find a way to control it. They saw the humans as a means to an end, a tool that could be used to reshape the galaxy in their own image. Thelon knew that he had to act fast, to find a way to protect the humans from the machinations of the Obsidian Order. But he also knew that he was up against a foe that was far more powerful and cunning than any he had ever faced before. As he raced back to Earth, his mind spinning with possibilities and plans, Thalon couldn't shake the feeling that he was already too late. The shadow of the Obsidian Order loomed over everything, and he knew that the fate of not just the humans, but the entire galaxy hung in the balance. And yet, even in his darkest moments, Thalon clung to a glimmer of hope. He had seen the strength and resilience of the human spirit firsthand, had witnessed the incredible power that lay hidden within their souls, and he knew that if anyone could stand against the darkness that threatened to engulf them all, it was the humans themselves. As he stepped off his ship and onto the surface of Earth once more, Thalon steeled himself for the battle ahead. He knew that the road would be long and treacherous, that there would be sacrifices and setbacks along the way. But he also knew that he could not turn back, that the fate of the galaxy rested on his shoulders. And so, with a heart full of hope and a mind sharpened by determination, Ambassador Thalon set out to face the shadow that loomed over them all, ready to fight for the future of the galaxy, no matter the cost. As Ambassador Thalon raced through the halls of the United Earth Government headquarters, his heart pounded with a sense of urgency and dread. He had to warn President Novak and the other human leaders of the danger that lurked in the shadows, of the Obsidian Order's sinister plans to control and manipulate the power of the human soul. But when he burst into the president's office, he found himself face to face with a sight that stopped him dead in his tracks. There, seated across from President Novak, was a figure cloaked in black, a being whose very presence seemed to suck the light from the room. "Ambassador Thalon," the figure said, its voice a cold, metallic rasp. "We meet at last." Thalon's hand instinctively went to his sidearm, but he knew that it would be useless against a foe of such power. "Who are you?" he demanded, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and anger. The figure chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down Thalon's spine. "I am the emissary of the Obsidian Order," it said, "and I have come to claim what is rightfully ours." President Novak rose to her feet, her eyes blazing with a fierce determination. "The power of the human soul belongs to no one but ourselves," she declared, "and we will not allow it to be used as a weapon of destruction and control." The emissary's laughter grew louder, more menacing. "You have no choice in the matter, little ones. The Obsidian Order has been planning this moment for centuries, and we will not be denied our destiny." Thalon's mind raced with possibilities, desperate for a way to turn the tide of the confrontation. And then, in a flash of insight, he remembered something that Dr. Connors had told him during his first visit to Earth, a secret that had been hidden in plain sight all along. "The power of the human soul is not just a source of energy," Thalon said, his voice ringing with a newfound clarity. "It is a connection to something greater, a link to the very fabric of the universe itself." The emissary's laughter faltered, and for a moment, Thalon could sense a flicker of uncertainty in its cold, metallic eyes. "What are you talking about?" it demanded. Thalon stepped forward, his eyes locked on the emissaries. "The humans are not just another species to be controlled," he said. "They are a part of something much larger, a cosmic tapestry that stretches across the stars, and their soul power is the key to unlocking its secrets." As he spoke, Thalon could feel a strange energy building in the room, a pulsing, crackling force that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. And then, in a blinding flash of light, the emissary vanished, its form disintegrating into a cloud of black smoke. In its place stood a shimmering, ethereal being, a creature of pure energy and light. "Well done, Ambassador Thalon," the being said, its voice a melody of stars and galaxies. "You have unlocked the true potential of the human soul, and in doing so, you have set the galaxy on a new path." President Novak stepped forward, her eyes wide with wonder and understanding. "What happens now?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The ethereal being smiled, a radiant expression that filled the room with warmth and light. "Now the humans and the Intergalactic Council must work together to explore the true nature of the soul, to unlock its secrets and harness its power for the good of all. The road ahead will not be easy, but with the strength and wisdom of the human spirit, Anything is possible. As the being faded away, leaving only a faint trace of stardust in its wake, Theodolin and President Novak exchanged a look of profound understanding. They knew that the galaxy would never be the same, that the revelation of the human soul had changed everything. And as they stepped out into the bright Earth sunlight, ready to face the challenges and opportunities of a new era, they knew that they would not be alone. For in the hearts and minds of every human, in the very essence of their being, lay the key to a future beyond anything they had ever imagined. The end.